everyone. Welcome to Sunrise Extra on a Friday, a very exciting Friday because tomorrow the Timbers soccer team play for the MLS Cup Championship against New York. Game time noon on Saturday. Bring your raincoat. But happening right now, let's get out live because the wristbands to the Timbers Army ticket holders being handed out right now. All of these folks, most of them, have been camped out, some of them since Wednesday. We talked to the first guy in line who just moved to Portland in May. He became a huge Timbers Army fan, and he started camping out there. So all of these people already have tickets. They don't need to do this, but they want to get a really good seat inside Providence Park for the game.
Devin Haskins was saying, though, he thought there was more than 1,000 people. They only have 1,000 of these wristbands to get into this particular section of the stadium. Devin, who's been out there live for us all morning, you can see him with the KGW mic there talking to some of the fans. Devin told us that he thought there was definitely more than 1,000 people waiting in line this morning. So the fact is, if you wanted to be in that section, you did have to get there.
Can you guys hear me?
And you did have to wait in line.
We can hear you, Devin. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah. It is. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Drew. I just was wondering. I was like, can you guys hear me? Is it my?
Yeah, go for it.
But I see you guys looking at Eric's shot right now. I mean, everybody is getting their wristbands on. So these are not mine. I am being closely watched holding these, but these are what the wristbands are. Each one of these has a number on those. That number will then kind of hold the place in line. So when people show back up with these wristbands, they know where they stand in line. Everybody, I'm going to hand these back. There you go. All right.
Thank you, sir.
No, I'm not going to get arrested, and I'm not going to get trampled for having wristbands in my possession, but everybody here has to show that they have a ticket. Everybody here has to show that they have proof of vaccination, and once they do that, they are everybody's excited. They see those two things. They then get the wristband put on their wrist. This whole thing, they say, one of the guys was telling me, the volunteers handing them out, said they normally handed about 300 of these. They're handing out 1,000 of these. Probably take about the next 2 hours while they do this, and it is quite the line. They have 4 lines right now. Everybody is kind of finding their way. Everybody's bumping into each other. It's I don't want to call it a madhouse, but it is definitely an organized chaos right now. But it's pretty fun. The excitement is huge out here. And as you said, like. Yeah, go ahead.
Because do any of us know? I'm assuming these people are basically going to be part of the Timbers Army with these wristbands. Is that correct? Are there?
Yeah. So the Timbers Army is like 5,000 seats. They're only handing out 1,000, and that's what they're trying to do is get the best seats in that Timbers Army location.
All right. So these are absolutely the rowdiest of the fans of professional sport.
I knew it worked this way, and I remember them doing this, 3 years or a few years ago during the playoffs when the Timbers were getting close. Of course, they'd never hosted a finals at Providence Park before. But Devin, it amazes me, and I don't know if you know more about this than we do. It amazes me that so you get a wristband that gives you a line position 1 through 1,000. I show back up there late in the game on Saturday, and like if I have one that says 552, I mean, does 553 just easily let me in front of them? I mean,
no, they don't.
It always works pretty smoothly like that, I guess.
You're not getting in front of me.
I was asking that same thing, and then somebody said, you know what? You kind of know who's in line and who, the numbers of where people stand. Whether or not they actually say, nope, I'm 752, you're 762. Let's keep going, type thing. I'm not sure how that's going to work if they're going to, play by those rules or not. But you'd think they would.
It sounds to me like they respect the numbers.
Yeah, you respect the numbers. But again, everybody has a ticket, so they're guaranteed a seat. It's just, is something going to be in their way? Are they going to be higher up? Are they going to be pushed to a certain side or whatever? Are they going to get the seat that they normally get to on a normal game? So it is it's fun to see this process. I've never seen it out here like this. I've never seen this process, and it's kind of fun to watch this whole thing.
I was curious, Devin, what do you think would happen if you turned to the crowd and warmly, in a friendly manner, shouted out to them, who's ready to see the Timbers win tomorrow? What kind of reaction do you think we would get? Do you think they would respond favorably?
Well, let's
try it.
Let's try this.
Okay.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Who's ready to see the Timbers win?
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Very successful.
Who's ready to see the Timbers win?
Who's ready to cut some
Who's ready to see New York win?
That's a good follow-up question. How about this one, Devin? Who believes in the Rod Hill weather forecast?
Oh, no.
Oh, don't do that.
I love that. Good job, Devin.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. I mean, what things would you guys wait in line for?
That
Like
is the
the past
question we were
2
asking this
hours.
morning
I mean,
amongst
there's
ourselves.
really
Yeah.
nothing. At that point, I'd just be like, I can wait, or I can do without.
Have either of you ever stood in line for a product launch? Like, sometimes you'll see the lines for an iPhone or, Cabbage
Never.
Patch Kids back in the 80s, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
People tend to wait in lines. I don't.
True story. I will not go. If I'm going to be the 7th car in the drive-through, I'll
Go
think
somewhere
about
else.
it. But if there's 7 cars or more in the drive-through,
No.
no, I ain't going.
And you said like 2 hours would be your max
right.
for like only
I would-
only 2 people you specifically mentioned.
Well, if my daughter asked me to go do something
your daughter
and I
wasn't
knew
one of
I was
your-
going to be in line for a couple hours, I would do it. Patrick
mentioned
Mahomes, the
Patrick
Kansas City Chiefs
Mahomes
quarterback.
and
if I was
your wife.
going to have lunch with Patrick, I'd probably wait 2 hours for that. But not more than 2. If my honey said, for us to stay together, you're going to have to camp out for 3 days, I'd be like,
This is no.
Yeah, you don't have to go down
Ciao.
this road. This is a road that I don't like to see you walk down. You don't have to be walking down this road right now.
But it's just like, when I don't know, like I don't love something, of course I love my family, but like a thing, like a game or a concert, like
Right.
I don't love
Yeah,
anything
just-
enough to do what they're doing.
No, you're absolutely
agree.
right. I'm a huge Phillies fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Grew up in Philadelphia, and I get excited when they play silly, meaningless regular season games in the middle of the week. But I would never stand in line 2 hours to get a ticket for them. I'd rather. And you have the opportunity to watch the Timbers on TV.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
rather just
Yeah.
watch it from the comfort of my home versus having to stand in line all that time just to say I was there.
Yeah. I mean, it makes for a great story,
does.
down the line
Right.
of
Yeah.
like telling your kids or whatever of like, we did this crazy thing. Here's these pictures. We like camped out downtown. We stayed up all night and we got these.
It's an
it's a
event.
cool like
It's an event.
character building life story, I guess.
But I'm not
But I
even going to
won't
get
do.
up and do the crazy Black Friday early morning
Shopping.
No.
Oh, Devin, go ahead. We hear. Okay, what's up?
What about Disneyland rides? That's about the longest I've ever stayed in line for something. I've never
Yeah.
done Black Friday shopping or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Tell me about
lines at
Disneyland because that's going
like
to
an
be in
amusement
my
park.
future in a couple of years. Like, how bad is it?
That was supposed to be in my my plans, and then COVID hit, and we were supposed to go last year, so we still
Yeah.
have tickets to Disneyland. So
Oh, wow.
that's in my future too. I don't know when we're going, but the last time I went, we kind of skipped around with the kids. We're like, okay, do we want to stand in that line? Do we want to stand in that line? But when I went, I spent my honeymoon there with my wife.
Yeah.
So when we went there with my wife, yeah, we definitely stood in line for a couple hours at a time just to do that. But this overnight, I've never camped overnight for something. I've never waited in line.
Right.
I think I'm with you guys. A couple hours.
The weirdest line
That's
I've
my
ever seen.
patience level.
Devin, I was doing a live shot similar to what you're doing this morning, but to me it made even less sense. Far less sense. Far less sense. I was outside the IKEA in Northeast Portland the morning that it opened up for the first time.
Oh,
and there were
right.
people, same situation as this, camped out there overnight to be the first to get inside the IKEA that morning. Now, I can't remember what they were. There were incentives to be the first, 100 or so inside the store. I don't know what the discount was.
Play those little meatballs.
But nonetheless, there were people in tents outside IKEA, 15 years ago or whatever it was when that store first opened out there by the airport.
And that to me seems really crazy.
Yeah.
Here's a couple comments from our
funny.
viewers. So Shireen Miller-Simmons, she says she stayed overnight for concert tickets in the 90s because they were giving out bracelets for Garth Brooks. And then other people are like, yeah, Garth is totally worth it. Jennifer Taftrod wants to know, who would you wait 2 hours
2
to
hours.
golf with?
Oh,
Well, see, in 2 hours, a lot of, again, my limit is 2 hours. So 2 hours, you got Roy McIlroy.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
Rory's your boy.
Phil, Mickelson. But like 3 hours, honestly, no.
Yeah, like, let's go get a sandwich or something.
Yeah, it's gonna,
Yeah.
There's no line in the drive-thru. We're out of here.
Can I give a shout out to Chick-fil-A?
Yes, you may. By the way,
Yes, by all means.
not fancy chicken sandwiches, but just plain good quality chicken.
I've never
What's
seen
happening?
I've never seen a line managed
Oh,
so
yeah.
well.
Oh, Chick-fil-A.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
When that opened out in Hillsborough,
Yes.
I think I had to do that. Maybe Devin and I actually did that story together, and it's insane.
There's another fast food place in town that's more local than Chick-fil-A. I don't even want to say the name because I'm sort of going to bash them in a minute.
Beeville?
Burgerville?
Sounds like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like that one.
Rhymes
yeah.
with
Because if you get into a Beeville line that has maybe 6 cars in it,
It's a
Burger
while.
Hill.
It's a wait.
you will wait longer than you
Yeah.
will if you get into a Chick-fil-A line that has literally, I'm not kidding, 20 cars.
No,
in
and
it.
they have this little tent set up in the drive. I mean, they have these people to check you through in the drive-through line.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's very, very well done.
Well, it's just like in and out. What are you waiting for that long?
Right. I don't know. I've seen the In-N-Out line. I've never wanted to get into it, so I've never experienced that. But I have gotten into the Chick-fil-A line, and I'm very surprised pleasantly at how quickly I'm up front and get my food.
And honestly, in terms of coffee places, Starbucks is fast.
Okay.
I'm going to say you go to any coffee shop, and if there's 20 people or 10, pick a number, 10 people, 8 people in front of you, whatever, I think they are the fastest.
Shannon Thompson waited in line just like this, the Timbers, for the Grateful Dead back in the 90s. Kristen Lebensky says, Dave Matthews. Oh, man, I used to love Dave Matthews. Some people waited in line for 10-plus hours to get the rail, which is the very front, or to get a poster. They have different art posters for each show, and the resale value of them is insane. Interesting.
When you say you used to love Dave Matthews, you mean
I
you
just
don't
haven't
like
listened to him in a while. No, I still love him, but I just haven't listened to it in a long time. But yes, man, Dave Matthews is like
He hasn't put
growing
out new music, I don't think, in a long time, right?
Who knows? That guy has like 30 CDs out, you know? CDs. Do people still see?
It'd be curious to me to know the percentage of people that have camped out. And now, in many cases this week, because it's close to the station I've driven by, it looked like they allowed you to keep your seat there, like a folding lawn chair, and then people respected that. So it wasn't like most of these people were actually camping out. They weren't. And I was by there. I was by there yesterday, though, and it was there were a few pockets of people, but mostly it was chairs that were just sitting out.
Oh, well, that's good.
The Timbers crowd loves each other. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right? Like I do feel like the crowd there respects one another.
Somebody was just saying it's like it becomes like a family, the little group that you're in.
Assuming you're rooting for the Timbers.
But like I mean, what would you guys, is there any, there's nothing. I mean, we've established. We have no souls.
And to me,
and
are you
would
really?
not wait for anything.
There's a point where I feel like you're just into an event. You're in so you can have the story. And there's something about that you enjoy, and it really could be almost anything.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
that's true.
But anyway.
Kristen Lebensky is clearly also a Dave Matthews fan because she's the one who brought up Dave the first time. And then she says, Nina, you're missing out. New albums going out all the time from Mr. Dave.
I figured he has new stuff. I mean, so many albums. What was I just going to say? Here's a scenario for you. What do you guys do in this situation? You're shopping at a store.
Yeah.
Grocery, clothes, whatever.
I know the answer.
Probably
You get you shop for your stuff, you find it, and then you finally like see the checkout line, and it's like long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you bail and leave?
I have done that.
Or
often.
it depends on like what
I
you're
have bailed
getting.
often. I
In what
bailed at
store?
Nordstrom Rack before.
And you just set your stuff
I'm
down
just
and
like,
walk.
I'm not even interested if lines moving fast. I ain't standing in lines. Got that many people in period.
Unless you
I'll just
love
set my
that
stuff down and I'm out. I've
So-
done that. I've done it at the grocery store too.
You left full
I've literally
carts.
left my cart
No,
right there.
are you
There's
serious?
perishable
I'm like,
food
this
in there.
is just too long.
There's perishable food
They
in there.
got people working.
But you took like a half hour to get the stuff or however
I'm
long.
not a
You
line
left-
person. I am just
Wow.
not a line person.
Mine would be equal to the effort that I put into it.
Yeah.
Is like I will wait that.
I've never left a cart behind.
I'll
I've
bet.
gotten that far. Now listen, it all depends, I guess. If I had like 5 items and I went in there for it and I came around, I go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize the lines were this long.
Yeah.
I would leave those 5
Yeah, I
behind.
haven't left like a full shopping.
Do you go to other areas at the store to see what other check stands?
I did something really
situations
ridiculous
are?
the other day.
Oh, tell.
I felt almost embarrassed.
Tell us.
Embarrassing, embarrassing story
All right,
time.
you tell.
My wife wanted me to grab one of those pre-made chickens, like whole chickens that are pre-made.
Rotisserie chickens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can get like an
Pre-baked.
Yeah, the rotisserie
Pre-made.
chickens.
You make it like we're assembling the chicken.
It's already been baked.
The hot chicken.
It's
Yes.
already been baked. But a whole chicken. It's a whole
Yes,
chicken.
the roasted chicken.
Now you can get a whole chicken that's not cooked already for like sometimes 99 cents a pound. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And those are kind of bigger. These ones they cook already or they already bake. They're not very. There's not a lot of meat to them. I've noticed.
Costco's
and they're
are pretty
expensive.
good, but
Costco, different
Yeah.
story. Anyways, I'm at Safeway, and my wife says, "Oh, if you could grab one of those already made chickens, cooked." We could put together dinner real quick when you get home. And I had a full cart at that point. I was like, okay, and I swing over there. The thing is empty. I mean, there's no chickens in the compartment. So I say to the man behind the counter, I said, hey, are you gonna? And I'm thinking maybe
When's
they're
those
gonna have
chickens
some warm ones coming out.
Yeah.
I said, do you have any coming out soon? He says, 20 minutes. I look at the line and I'm like, you know what? I'm probably gonna be standing in line for at least 10, maybe even 15 minutes. So I get in the line, I go through it in 12 minutes. So I've got 8 minutes left. So I go out to the car, put all the stuff in the car. Now I look at the clock, I'm like, well, according to him, I got 4 minutes. I'm just gonna walk back in and start circling.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm circling. 4 minutes passes. There's no chickens out there, right? 5 minutes. I wait another 5 minutes. So it's 9 minutes past when I could have been on my way home. Oh. And I say to the guy, I said, hey, sorry to bother you again.
Oh, what's the ETA on that chicken?
Where are these chickens?
I said, is that chicken coming out soon? He goes, yes. It's probably going to be about another 5 minutes. I was like, oh, does he mean 5 minutes or doesn't he mean 5 minutes? I said, okay. And I just stood there and waited. And
How
waited.
long?
It was 7 more minutes.
And then it came out.
And then you got one.
Yeah, but then I got one. But still, I could have been on my way home.
That's
That was
not
16 extra minutes of just standing there.
Been home. You could have opened up a can of
You don't
tuna
know
fish.
what the wife's reaction's going to be,
She
and then
actually gave
dinner's
me the
in
okay.
jeopardy.
She goes,
and then,
oh, yeah, don't go back. If you don't want to, you can come home.
Yeah, my wife
She gave me permission to return them.
Yeah.
She'll call me. She's like, "Oh, honey, I forgot this." I'm like, "I'm kind of in line here already."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Okay.
I would never leave a cart though. Then you just kind of
Just a
rest
few.
on
I mean,
the
to
handle
clarify
and
to
start
Drew's
looking
point,
at the phone.
just a few things. Like if I run in for a couple of things, and at that point it's probably a fast dash to get home, and I'm like, oh,
It depends on if my husband's with me, he will want to bail. With anything, at any cost. Let's get out of here. I can't do this. And then, but I'll stick. If I'm by myself, I'll stick it out.
I'm thinking about something that's rather off topic, but it does have to do with grocery shopping and the wife giving you a last-minute call.
Okay.
Rod, do you ever get the like the text or the call from your wife asking you to grab something that you yourself would never use, but she uses? It's kind of a womanly item.
and I don't know
Tampons.
exactly where it's at.
You can say the word, it's
yeah.
okay.
I didn't
Tampons.
even know what to call them, to be honest.
I've had to
with you.
pick
Thank
stuff
you. I don't
up
know.
before.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
forgot the name.
Yeah.
Tampons.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll text
Are
me
you
a picture of the box.
Does
Yeah.
that make you uncomfortable?
Very
This is how
helpful.
immature. I'm admitting I'm a little bit immature. I recognize that flaw in my personality. Does it bother you at all to grab that box?
No, but I may, make sure they see my wedding. I'm kind of married here, so wedding ring.
I don't know what it is because I can't.
My wife, see the wedding. My wife had me. I'm married.
Obviously.
My wife
Well,
had
they
me
know
pick
you're not
these
buying
up.
it for you.
Yeah,
Do they?
I don't know. It's such a big selection there of those things. Like, right? I'm
The
like,
picture is
She'll
key.
text me the box.
Then you
Grace will
can
always text me the box.
laser in and just grab.
I can't laser that fast. I usually swoop down, and if there's someone, that's the problem. If there's
But if
someone
you know,
else
pink
there,
box,
I get
okay, I'm
embarrassed
going
about being
pink
there too.
area.
You know what I really dislike though, and this just drives me nuts. Okay. Grace will ask me to go to the store, pick something up, and it's something at the grocery store, a grocery item, that I would never buy myself. And my point is, so I have no flipping idea where this is in this grocery store. That just drives me nuts. Because when I go shopping, buying the stuff I buy, man, I could shop Winco blindfolded. I know exactly where everything is. But when I don't know where it is,
she's like, I need maraschino
big
cherries.
store,
Like, where the
I'm like, that drives me nuts.
What takes you over the edge is when you get home and she says, "Well, what took you so long?" That one freaking item.
Oh my
that one item.
I had no idea where it was. Yes.
The boys today.
You get something that lists as cumin seed. I'm like, what? Where the heck did they keep that?
Spices.
Yeah, just look at the
Spice
you see how big the spice
It's
section is?
alphabetical.
You know what I'm
A,
gonna do?
B, C.
No,
cumin.
it's not.
I'm going to go home.
Spices? Yes. Have you never noticed that?
At every store?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is, actually.
Check it out. Alphabetical.
So cinnamon's near the top.
Time. It's in the T's. Just after the S's.
Are you sure about this?
Positive.
All right, I'm going to check that out. All right.
Brian Matthews, our director right here.
It's Friday.
He has to
You spell
recite
cumin
the
with a
alphabet.
Q, right?
Cumin.
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 I say cumin. I say Q.
Are we out
All
of time?
right, we were
must be.
talking about the Timbers, just to remind you.
Yes.
All right, you guys, have a wonderful Friday. Go Timbers on Saturday. We'll see you back here on Monday.